So
the work that you're doing now. What are you
so
working on now?
I'm continuing what I believe in. I'm fortunate to be able to now. I've always done consulting work. I've been a trained facilitator for a while.
Okay.
So what I decided to do was actually start a consulting firm.
Okay.
And it's called. It's interesting, and I have to give the mayor the credit. She's always say I'm a bridge builder.
Okay.
So it's called. That's it. It's Bridge Builders.
Okay.
LLC, and we actually. The goal of the organization or the agency is to really bridge the gaps between corporate and communities, government and people, and then communities to the rest of the world. More often than not, our communities operate in their own little world, and I've interacted now, and I've worked in Ward 8 for 25 years, and I actually live in Ward 1. I lived in Ward 5. I lived in Ward 8 for a small stint, but not as much time as I lived in the other 2 wards. And I ran into so many young people and young adults, and I hate to say it, middle-aged adults that don't leave their own ward. And it limits them to the possibilities and exposure outside of what they can see. So it gives you an opportunity really to bridge that, that gap. Then a lot of times government, we want to help, and we come in and we tell communities what they need. And that's wrong. That's not how you do community engagement. You engage community and you look at the community. Every person living in the face of the world want the same 7 things. Same 7 basic human things. That's all we want. I don't care if you're living in poverty or you're the wealthiest person in the world. You want the same 7 principles. So the way that we engage communities through Bridge Builders is we engage communities from an asset perspective, looking at the strengths of the community. So we actually teach government, especially a lot of new employees who are coming into the field of work, what I consider to be human capital development, social services, working in the judicial system, when you actually have to come inside and do home visits, teachers, schools that are, especially charter schools that are new, don't know anything about a community, say, hey, we're going to teach those young babies and don't know anything about how you do that work. So we actually help bridge that gap. Corporations, they want to do development, again, they're a revenue stream. How do I start my restaurant in Anacostia and I don't lose all my money? Or how do I build affordable housing in, I don't know, Lincoln Heights? How do I do that in a way that I can actually secure employment opportunities, but come into the community and not make the people who are living there feel like they're going to be gentrified out?
How do you build trust?
How do you build trust? So that's what we do. That's one of the aspects of Bridge Builders. We actually help those organizations, the government entities, and those businesses understand how to do that effectively. Because we build the relationships from the ground up with the community, looking at what are your needs, because people don't want to be case managed. Who wants that? People know what they want. If what I want is to be, I don't care, a graphic designer. Well, I don't need you telling me to just go down the street and get a job at McDonald's, right? That's not the way the conversation should go. So we have to figure out, and we've done that, what's the best way of interacting with people. So that's one of the things I'm doing. And Bridge Builders does a couple of other things. We also do facilitation. I've gotten into womanhood leadership training. The other piece that we do, or we're doing it with the organization right now, is how do you build a succession plan that you can build within the organization and build leadership. And a lot of times, especially in the African American community, we don't do that well. So I'm working with some organizations around doing that work. So that's Bridge Builders. We're definitely trying to sustain the restaurant. We're in the process of now of identifying whether or not we're going to stay where we are. But we are going to be in DC, and we're looking at some other locations now. We just signed a LOI to move to open up a second location. So we're excited about that. Growth. So the restaurant is going to continue to move forward. And then my nephew, whom you know, he's had a construction company in Prince George's for some time now. So we opened up one here in the district. So I'm vice president of that one, but that's not where all of my time, because he's done a phenomenal job of keeping that going. So those are the 3 avenues that I'm actually embarking upon, and I'm excited about it. And we're going to run again.
I was going to
we're going to run again. We're not
your poster's still up on
That's right. I got to get those down. Don't find me. I'm going to get them down. But
still up.
we're running again. So we we got to stay relevant. We're going to keep our magenta and white.
Good.
I'm going to run again. We're going to go again at the at-large seat.
Okay.
But I think it's important to make sure that I'm building the right revenue. I think the greatest service I can offer at this moment is employment to people. And so each and every day that I'm able to sustain this restaurant, sustain Bridge Builders, and us be able to sustain KZ Construction, for me, those avenues where people are able to take care of their family, that is kind of, that solves a lot of our issues when it comes to people being able to work and take care of their homes. So that's important for me.
Excellent. So tell me, what does it mean to you to continue to be able to house the restaurant here at this location?
Oh my goodness, it would mean so much to me. You know, my wife and I took our retirement. I mean, she literally was a contractor. I'm embarrassed to say that I begged her. We will actually have been together for 20 years this June, married for 7.
Okay.
And I begged her to come when her contract concluded September 30th. She was about to go into another one. I begged her to come in here and run a restaurant because I knew that it could not take my full attention knowing that I was running for office. And, you know, it's now become our baby. You know, it's a toddler now, it's walking. And we just see it as an opportunity to be in a community where it's going to get the next big boom. We don't own a building, which we tried to purchase. They're not willing to sell. But not only is this the next big thing, it's an opportunity zone. So we want to be able to stay here, reap the benefits of all that we've actually invested. Busboys and Poets are coming. I was on that deal. I worked for the collaborative who owns that building. So I know business draws business.
Right.
You got Anacostia Organics, the first medical, you know, marijuana dispensary here. No Man, the cigar place, hookah place. So you have so much turning natural. People are coming to east of the river. People are coming to Anacostia, and we were one of the businesses that was here when no one else wanted to come here. So we want to stay in Anacostia specifically. That's our goal. But we are rebranding and renaming, but we want to stay here.
Okay. As far as the rebrand and renaming, do you have something?
So we're working on that. I'm a real prayerful person. I'm praying about it. I got a couple of names running around in my head. But it's a team. I'm the face of the team, but I'm not the only person with the team. So I have a tendency, Terry, to make some decisions in my own head. So, you know, that does not always yield to the best thing. So I'm going to be more thoughtful about this decision and come up with a name that suits who we are and the image that we want to portray.
And we'll still be able to get
You're going to get your crab fries. That's never going anywhere. Crab fries is our signature. So yeah, you're going to continue to get your crab fries, and I honestly believe we have the best fried chicken recipe in the city. So you didn't get the fried chicken, you got to get some fried chicken before you go. But you know, yeah, you're going to we're going to keep the menu, but just rebrand.
Now with the being a part of this community and wanting to stay here and growing as well with the restaurant, how did you even fall into saying that I wanted to be a restaurant owner?
I had no idea. Just the first thing. The only reason why I got into the business, to be honest with you, I was invited. My former business partner, actually, it was his deal. And he invited me for a lot of reasons, I believe. One, he knows that I'm a hard worker. Anything I put my mind to, I'm going to be in here. But I got into it because I knew it was a good opportunity. I'm always from a business standpoint. My sister is a licensed caterer, and against her better judgment, she told me don't do it. She was like, restaurants are hard. I'll cater all day. But I'm a customer person. I am the friendly, the one that talks to everybody. So when we first opened, I did everything from bartend to cook to manage. I did it all. And I enjoyed it, and I ended up falling in love with it. It wasn't my initial love. It wasn't. It really wasn't. Now it's like, if you tell me you're going to take away Cheers or take away the whole restaurant from me, it almost breaks my heart. So I enjoy it now. It's hard though. That and running for office are like the two hardest things I've done in the last 5 years. This is a hard industry. It's a hard, labor-intensive industry, so you have to love it.
So you're going to run again.
I am going to run again.
So, okay. you're running again. What is your first goal? What do you do first?
First is the planning. I started off actually a year before anyone knew me. But this time I'm going to go at 2 years prior to the next election.
Okay.
And we're going to start planning very early, looking at the lay of the land, making sure that we're actually addressing the issues per community. DC is interesting. DC is a very innovative city, but it has very old small town ways.
Okay.
Now, most big cities like DC, you don't have to do mailings. You don't have to do, you know, a lot of the knocking on the doors. DC, you have to do it all. You have to catch people by knocking on doors. You have to do mailings. You have to do social media. You have to do it all to attract the attention of the voter. And the most important thing for me is you have to be consistent in your message, and it has to be true. And what I noticed on the campaign trail, and probably what was the most devastating thing for me, is my opponents weren't true. And it was painful. Like, literally, people would just blatantly lie. And or I would say something, and the next time we were in a debate, they would repeat what I said verbatim, which I thought was really interesting. But honestly, that in and of itself pushed me to say, you got to do this again. People, when I actually were able to engage people, people heard the truth, and it actually turned their vote. You know, I mean, literally.